Hello, I'm Joyce Owen.
My name is Joyce Sparks Bailey.
I'm Betty, or Miss Betty, as everybody calls me. If you're the bank or the insurance company, it's Naomi.
My name is Ramona Fly. I'm here to talk a little bit about WMU or WOM.
WMU is Women's Missionary Union, and that's the overall umbrella for the whole group. But the individual groups are WOM, which is Women on Mission.
From the beginning, WMU's main purpose has been to educate and involve women, girls, and preschoolers in the cause of Christian missions. It accomplishes these purposes primarily through age-level organizations.
I can remember Betty Jones and Ann Rogers.
There was Marcy Licato and Frida Wilkerson, Ruth Bottom, and Helen Templin, Carol Rogers, Pat David.
They're very nice people, and if you want to see Christian people, they are Christian people. I remember being sick, and although Marcy Licato herself was sick, she came to visit me. So these are people that they really show the love of Christ.
We used to do these care packages for soldiers, and we'd put together boxes of things that they might need, toiletries. Often we put in cookies and different things, and send it to specific soldiers that were family members of the church, either the children or the husbands or the daughters. But we'd pack up things and send them, and I really like that.
We used to have a party for a ward of women patients at Springfield and Spring Grove mental hospitals before the Americans with Disabilities Act, when there were more patients in Spring Grove and more patients in Springfield, so that there was enough to do a whole ward of patients once a month that we would go and have a party with.
Carol Rogers, she was very involved when I came, and so we would have the Mother's Day banquet, and she would invite people in the communities and their families. And of course, she would get the bread from Panera Bread, and she would bring it to the church and give it to the people who would need it, or who could use it, or who could give it to other people who needs it in the community. And then after that, when we had more than enough, we also gave it to other churches.
I was invited by Marcy. It seemed like a good organization to help others.
After I retired, Ann Rogers invited me. So I've been retired for maybe 6 months or almost a year, and Ann thought it would be good for me to get out and do something.
Joyce said to me, thinking that since I no longer had grandkids, I ought to be doing something different. She said, why don't you come join us at WMU?
Joyce Owens, who invited me, she's another person who's very nice and very friendly. Being involved with WOM allow you to be involved, to even meet more church members. And like I said, when people are ill and you notice that they're missing, when you come to church, you'll send them a get well card, you inquire about them, or a birthday card. So it's, WOM is it's a very loving group.
We do support the Rockville Pregnancy Clinic, which is now called the Women's Center of Rockville. And we do the health kits, which is for the Maryland, Delaware area. It used to be a ministry to migrant workers, but now it's a ministry for sailors and people that come to visit Ocean City. And so we participate in that and contribute to that. We do a lot of praying, and we also send cards for people who in the church who are sick or having birthdays.
was my first commitment. When we started the quilting group, we were an outgrowth of one that Danette Hale started. She worked with the youth, and she had a Sunday night group trying to meet the needs of older people and her teenagers. So she would invite both. When I started with coming to then WMU with Joyce, and realized that Joyce was going to the pregnancy center once a month, once every other month, I made the commitment then that every time she went, we would send a crib quilt. So that was our first commitment, and we did that easily. It's easy to do a quilt in 2 months. But then people started having babies in the church. And I think Zach was the first baby in the church that we made a quilt for. It's just become an avocation now. It's just become something that we look forward to doing every month, and we look forward to doing something different every month. We've never made two alike. So everything is different. It was Joyce's theory that every baby, regardless of his origin, deserves something beautiful in his life. So that's what we aim to do. And then that grew into, we had several elderly people who were ill, terminally ill, and we made bigger quilts for them. It was like Topsy, it just grew.
We support the Lottie Moon and the Annie Armstrong, and they do marvelous things throughout the world and North America. Through the money that we donate, they help with medical expense in other countries, in foreign countries. These missions are church planters, and they support other ministries. So
Jesus told us to go out and tell the world. We can't go out and tell the world if we sit and twiddle our thumbs. So we have to know about missions. We have to know about them. We have to pray for them. We have to be financially invested in them. So as a Christian, you have to be interested in missions. You can't not be interested in missions because it's a commandment from Jesus.
to help these people in different countries with simple things as, to us it's simple because we get water from a pipe, but they have no way of getting water. So to dig wells, clothing, maybe a social gathering, or to help them with food, that's important.
I also like the baskets that I do for the pregnancy clinic. The ladies donate, and then I lay out all the stuff and see, well, what is it that I really need to put in here? I really like putting that together. And then Betty, she always provides us with a quilt, and I put it in a laundry basket, because anyone who has babies know you need a laundry basket. So I put it in there with all kinds of goodies that the baby needs, and a couple of things that the mom might need, like a picture frame or a photo album, things like of that nature, plus books. And I love going to the store and picking out the books that I want to put in there. So that's something I really enjoy doing.
I would like to see more hands-on help with the different fundraisers. Right.
To maybe get into the community a little more, we're right here. And certainly to support the work of Mark and Ralph as they go. I think we can all get into that.
I would like to see us have more members so that we can do more. Right now with the pregnancy clinic, I'm only able to go every other month because we just don't have enough stuff.
My vision is to have more members at WOM and to do more, to do physical things. When you do physical things for people or provide their physical needs, then you can then tell them more about Jesus. You know, you can't tell a hungry person about Jesus because his mind will be on the food. You know, so we have to provide for their physical needs and then, their spiritual.
If you are involved in Ladies for Christ or the Women's Missionary Organization or the missionary organization that's in the church, it's just vital. It's just a crucial thing to do. And there's so many things that the younger people can do that the older people are not physically able. I can't stand at a soup kitchen and dole out food, but young people can and should. But there are other things that I can do, and I can certainly use my money that I have to donate to the missions and find out as much as I can and really listen to what the missionaries are saying, because the one thing that missionaries do that a lot of people forget is they're not just there to preach. They're there to actually help. So they're there to teach people how to plant food and teach people how to build buildings and teach people how to get water and all those things. And the more you learn, then you find out where your niche is, because not everybody can do everything, but you can do one thing, and that would be a good thing.
On the second Tuesday of every month, except for in the summer, at 10:30. And as far as what a meeting looks like, it is very informal. We get together and we have the minutes of the last meeting read. We take up a small donation if applicable. And of course, being good Baptists, we eat. And then we have a missions report that usually comes from the magazine that we get once a month. And then we have prayer, we send out cards, and of course during the meeting we discuss what we're going to be involved in. And anybody is welcome, any age group. We're open to new members and welcome them. Thank you.